I'm back again this Saturday, February 10th, 2024 at 9:40 p.m. It's the East Coast of the US here in New Jersey, outside New York City. So, I put out the video, the last one I did last Saturday, and I'm just here kind of want to talk and say a few things, um, sort of about that situation with February and the dates and so on. And what's it now? It's like almost 10 o'clock. And tomorrow we'll be here in like a couple of hours, which would be the 11th. Um, a lot of activity going on, a lot of chaotic feeling about the Super Bowl and all that, the atmosphere. Really, it happens like that every year. I don't like it. It's not peaceful. It's like people are going crazy. It's like a big holiday type atmosphere and all the, you know, halftime shows and all that and the entertainment. And they don't realize that it's predictive programming and, occult ceremonies, rituals going on that people don't realize. Anyway, I've been going through this a long, long time, several decades as a believer, you know, believing in the rapture and waiting for the rapture, and also following events. And times pass, and there are times where things seem like it's going to happen any moment. There goes an explosion as I'm trying to do this video. If I don't get buzzed by any more black helicopters going right over me like I have been the past several days, there's more of an explosion. I don't know if you could hear somebody shooting. Then maybe I can continue this video. So, how do I word this just straight out, flat out? Probably tomorrow will come and go. And so what? It might, it probably will, happen that way. The Super Bowl will pass, most likely. That doesn't mean anything. There's a consensus going on. I don't even like that word because others who do predictive programming and report on dates and the occult seem to jump on the bandwagon, um, and it starts a snowball, and then this date, everyone's concentrating on that. There's some truth to that, but it's a lot of sensationalism most of the times, shilling going on or whatever. But anyway, a consensus or a general, stating that right now or Valentine's Day or this week, and particularly this month into March and April, things are expected, just put it that way, major events, based on decoding and all that predictive programming. And now I'm not saying nothing's going to happen, so don't think that that's what I'm saying here whatsoever. I'm just saying, it's a watch. It's been a very anxious, tedious watch for several months here. It seemed like, really, despite the news and this, things seem like they're ready to fall apart any moment. World War III, this is going to happen tomorrow. I'm not saying nothing happened, obviously, but things have been sort of at a lull for quite a long time. And it's like waiting for here's a good analogy, speaking of the who, waiting for a tsunami to come in. Well, what happens with that? It could be a sunny day. People are at the beach. The tide goes out, and they're like, ooh, look at that. It's so nice. We could walk way out there, and it's so calm. But if a tsunami approaches, that's a sign that you know, that's a major sign that one will occur if the tide goes way out unexpectedly like that. So that's sort of an analogy. Oh, before I forget, maybe well, I haven't been online really. I don't even have a signal anymore, so I have to go to the library. I only have a bicycle to ride. I'm pretty well along in years here, and it's tiring me out. I have to bike no matter where I go far to get food, and I'm just weary, you know. So my point is, if you've put up comments and they're not there, I didn't delete them, and I haven't had a chance really to maybe respond um, to that if there's an inquiry or something, not an inquiry, but if someone left a comment and they're wondering, I could get back maybe when I get back to be online, but not right this second. But will something happen tomorrow at the Super Bowl day? It's very possible. I don't know, who knows what, but we'll see what happens. But this has been going on for a really long time, and it's very, very hard to tell exactly what these scoundrels are truly up to, no matter what they signal or what they show, their cards, their hand in certain ways. Let me just briefly get back to the Hawaii earthquake and volcano situation. Last Saturday I came on, Friday I did the video, then the next day, Saturday, I came on and I posted it 1 week ago exactly from this Saturday. Anyway, I mentioned what's going on there and the quakes and so forth, and how that maybe seemed to be a signaling relating to La Palma. Now, just maybe a few days ago, there was reported in a 6.7. It first came in 6.7 on the big island there, Hawaii, and then it was downgraded into the fives. And I saw it reported, I guess, on the USGS at 6.3. That's what they posted it as. So magnitude 6.3. It occurred at 6:30 UTC time. So there's another six and a three, or triple sixes, and then the depth was like 6.2 kilometers. So close but no cigar, but that's almost, well, that is three sixes and then almost three triple sixes. And again, somebody could say, well, that's interesting, but that doesn't prove anything or show me anything. And then I noticed that it was stated that the volcano or the earthquake was close to a place called Pahala. Pahala. And I was thinking, well, what does that sound like? Any guesses out there? Pahala? Yeah, La Palma. Very close sounding. Now, they said that this quake actually started splitting the rift, Kilauea Helena slump, and it widened it several inches, and actually, I don't know, something like tens of meters deep, it cracked more. And they're saying that it caused a crack in their sizable opening. And there were like 700 earthquakes. I think that was within 1 day when this was going on, and it lasted just a short time span of a few days, just like La Palma, when there was the earthquake swarm for a day or two. Then it dropped, everything dropped right off, and then like that was the 11th, 9/11, that started the earthquake swarm, and then 9/19 was the grand out of nowhere eruption, and that began all the eruption and the earthquakes going crazy. So that's sort of very parallel to what's going on here. And they said that because of the last time when there were a lot of quakes, it loosened the ground a lot, and since there was such an interval from then till now, it deflated, meaning that the magma pool wasn't building up, there wasn't pressure. So now, even though it broke up and caused a lot of tremendous uplift, or swelling of lava, well, magma, lava is above the surface, you know what I mean. Anyway, it like has a lot of room to fill in those areas to build up pressure. So that's probably why they say it didn't have a big eruption right now. So it's deflating and upfilling. Those are the terms. It's filling up again. It's has the room to grow, if you will, because of all the broken earth and everything created room for that. And whatever, capital W, caused that to occur, you know, probably not of natural sources, natural reasons that happened that way. And then it just basically died right off, which happens quite a bit with these major volcanoes and the tremendous earthquake swarms right now, also in Iceland. And that was a subsequent um, event during and following the La Palma eruption era, well, period. Like that was about 2.5 years ago. Then you have things like the stadium where the Super Bowl is being held tomorrow is called Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, and it's on the 36th parallel latitude. So there's another, 666. You could go on like this with all this stuff, and a lot of channels do that, and it's just endless. Um, these coincidences, they're not coincidences, but they're purposeful coincidences, planned. Just like the office of the, I don't know, president or whatever, the highest position of the La Palma Earthquake Geological Society, I forget exact word for it, is 666, whatever it is. It's a 666 address. I forget exactly what country that's in, but that's things like that. It's just endless. I mean, I've seen things, and I've recorded it from the footage and from the observatories um, of La Palma. Just all kinds of crazy things, supernatural things that I believe are supernatural, and I've done videos on them. They're in my past videos, and all kinds of weird things I've never even shown weird faces, totally evil, satanic faces and figures, all kinds of stuff, things flying through the air, creatures, all kinds of weird things. And I've documented some of them, but a lot I haven't. I haven't shown that is I'm saying. And also the thing with Bushcraft Bear, seems to me like he's like maybe a high level warlock, and very much into the occult, I believe, an occultist. And but he was very much admired and so on. I think he's not even doing videos, or how you used to say videos, anymore right now. But so I think that whole thing that went on there with La Palma right now, it's definitely not the end of it. That was like a ritualistic thing going on there, preceding what's going to happen. Now, I had said I might come back on and do those transcripts that I re-edited to speak on that, to show them, to talk of the information, from the transcripts from Mike Griffith. Sorry, I'm talking kind of slow here. Pretty tired. Well, as you can see, I'm not doing that right now, right this second. There's a lot more things I could go into here, but it would take too much time. It's best to just keep it short. Once a long time ago, or more than once, I was going to talk about a book from long ago by a woman named Constance Cumby, and it's called Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow, and it's about the Aquarian conspiracy and all this, and their plans to bring this to pass. So if you want to check that out, you could Google that or whatever. I don't even know if this stuff's online anymore. Stuff has been totally taken off and censored. You can't find stuff. I mean, I've been around a long time on the internet, and it used to be whether with internet searches, Google search or whatever, or even YouTube, you could find just about anything. All the stuff that now you can't even find, especially health related. And I haven't been online really, but a few times in the past 2 years, basically. And still, I would get messages every once in a while. Oh, sorry to tell you that we took your video down because it's based on MEDIKAL, misinfer, and then mation. And this has been going on, You know, they just keep plucking my videos off. This has happened. Like I said, even when I've been off for all this time, they keep just coming back and taking stuff down. No strike, but maybe if I continue in this vein, then things will get rougher. And also, I had a brief thought here of maybe putting all my videos back for one last time. Most of my videos aren't even shown anymore. I just made them private. Don't ask me why. Well, I have reasons, but I just left it that way all this time for the past years, 3 years. So there's many more videos that I've done. I've gone through a lot of things on eBay, but YouTube is what I'm talking about. And I've been at the center of a lot of controversies with the grace issue, with the works issue, with what I call Gnostic grace within grace. And that's a big deception. There's a lot of occultism and a lot of phonies who are occultists, and they come on and they teach grace and whatever they teach. I'm sorry, my opinion is 99% of everything out there is erroneous, and there's a lot of fakes out there, and that may be putting it too harshly, that may be putting it too leniently. I don't know. Me personally, I'm just saying there's very few videos, spiritually speaking, let's say prophetically, that I even watch anymore. Especially, you know, if there's signs and wonders or dreams or whatever, I just can't take it. I really can't. It's just, a lot of stuff seems phony or what have you, and the gospel that people believe is not the true gospel, not the grace gospel, but yet they're having all these so-called signs and dreams and visions, but they'll oppose what you're saying bitterly and mock it and say, you know, you're teaching a false gospel uh, pertaining to grace, but yet they're claiming all these things that they're having from God, that Jesus told them this, Jesus told them that, and you know, Jesus told them that they're going to lose their salvation, or that, you know, they better shape up or whatever. And once you're saved, and that's it. It's a free gift. You can't lose it. Uh, Jesus, His Spirit, He actually indwells you. That may sound strange to some of you out there, but I mean, like even in the occult, they have what's called the Christ consciousness and the overshadowing and all this. And that's not what I'm talking about. This is Christ, the inner knowledge, not just a head knowledge, you know, that He exists. And you can't get that just by repeating something or prayer or, you know, reciting what grace is. You have to have a rebirth. It's a rebirth, reborn experience. You know, just the basics that any child would know. There's a heaven, there's a hell. If you're saved, you become saved forever. Um, you're changed. You're not perfect. You're not trying to earn your salvation because you can't. Only Christ makes you righteous and changes you from the inside because His Spirit is in there, and He's there. That's it in a nutshell. You just accept that and open your heart and you're saved. And you will know it. You'll know it without a doubt. It's not something I'm saying, make you believe some creed or change your religion or whatever. You know, like the song, Losing My Religion. Well, I'm not losing my religion. I lost it a long time ago because I don't have religion. I have Christ dwelling in me, the hope of glory, and that's who I have. You know, I never expected to believe. I never expected that this was the answer, that Jesus was the answer, that God is real, that Jesus is real. This is going back decades and decades ago, from my late teens. The last place I looked and did look and wanted to look and thought to look was the Bible, but not just the Bible, but personally having something happen to me that I didn't expect, I didn't even ask for. I was just cringing, craving, needing the truth because my life was miserable. I was only a teenager. I was totally hopeless. I didn't give a blank about anything, and it was horrible. I had so many problems. I didn't care where I was going or what was going to happen to me, and that was it right after high school. All I knew is that if there's the truth, then I need to find it at all costs, and I wasn't even sure that such thing existed. That maybe just existence in this world, this creation was just meaningless and hopeless, existential nothingness, emptiness. You know, you live, you die, and that's it. What is the purpose? What is the meaning? What is the truth? And to make this really quick, a lot of supernatural occult things happened to me within a short period of time. I wasn't into the occult. Those around me, I found out, were, and they had experiences with regard to me. And so there was a lot of crazy things going on. It was a very weird kind of period. Um, you know, I started writing and journaling. That was my outlet. And it seemed like my mind, my intelligence just, I don't know, something happened very deeply in expression and understanding, um, you know, trying to figure all of this out. Something happened to me. You know, it's like I was way beyond my age mentally in my thought. And really, when I came upon information, books on Bible prophecy, and immediately that's when I believed. And it wasn't like trying to say, okay, I'll believe this. This sounds good. Well, prophecy, that sounds good, but what about this? These other people saying this prophetically, or they believe this is going to happen, or occultism, or other religions, or whatever. You know, why did you choose this religion? I didn't choose anything. I didn't choose a religion. I didn't choose it. Okay, when that's the whole thing about Jesus. Either he is who he is, or he's not. Either he rose from the dead and he's alive forevermore right now, and he knows you're sitting there watching this, and he knows all about you, and but you don't know him. You're blind to his existence, and I was blind to his existence. And it's, you know, how do I put this? It doesn't sound weird. He reveals himself to you that he's alive, and if you accept that, then you're enlightened. I'm not saying some kind of weird thing like occultism, or you know, some kind of weird teaching or whatever, belief, doctrine. But that happens to you. You realize without a doubt not only that he's alive, but that he's returning, and you're given the purpose. You're given, you know, a new understanding, new everything, a new life, spiritually. Let's put it that way. And you're changed. You're changed inwardly. Things seem differently. You're the way you are. Maybe, you know, someone was very whatever, and they seem to change, and then they notice that there's changes inside of them. Not that those things may go away. You may still have those issues or whatever. I have many issues. I have many conditions. Let's put it that way, to deal with inwardly and outwardly, physically and non-physically. So, you know, if you think I'm here preaching to you, you know, you got to be perfect, or you know, you're not a nice person. You're not living up to, you know, the standard. That's not what I'm talking about. It's not what this is all about. You'll be changed, not by yourself, not by your will, not by your power. You can't. Many things we can't change. We can't overcome. Now, you know what I'm saying. No matter what it is in our lives, and it's not us. It will be Jesus, if you accept him, that transforms you. And you know, this may sound weird too. His life, he lives his life through you. You become like him. He becomes sort of who you are. You know, by creating the person who you should be. That, you know, righteous person, that good person, good, whatever. Your heart. It's all about the heart, is what I'm saying. Humble-hearted. No, you don't hear too many stories nowadays. It's very tragic, of those who became saved, and their testimony. Now it's become called the testaphony, because it's all become Gnostic, and they're Gnostics. And if they don't have Christ in them, they're not even saved. I'm sorry. It's a total deception. And, you know, that's just a brief little summary of what I've gone through. There's much, much more to it, but I just wanted to mention that. I'm not trying to twist your arm. I'm not trying to condemn you. I'm not trying to tell you you have to believe this or else. I'm just telling you what the truth is of the truth of the gospel. And it says in Scripture, Paul said, the gospel is foolishness to those who perish. So I hope it's not foolishness to you. It's also foolishness about Jesus coming and his rapture and the rapture. And the Bible predicted that there'll be scoffers coming in the last days saying, where is the promise of his coming? Well, you're going to see it. You're going to experience it. Either having it or knowing that it has happened and you weren't a part of it. So now, Jesus gave signs. He used the Hebrew prophets, their prophecies, in the things he was saying, and he basically laid out what to expect before he returned. And it might seem kind of hard to understand, especially the way it's been written and translated through the years. But there's a specific timeline. There's a specific things that are going to happen in a specific order, and that's real. That hasn't been, that's not a modern construct or something that just was new. It's modern, like newfangled. Like a lot of people say, oh, the rapture is not in the Bible. It was a creation of the Catholics in whatever 1900 sometime, whatever they say. Well, all I could say is there's the real thing and there's the false thing. Prophecy is real. These prophecies are real. They were prophesied. And yes, there's false prophecies. There's doctored doctrine. There's a lot of things out there, which gets to my next point that I forgot to mention. But it's good because it ties into what I'm saying here, is that it's like it's all scripted. These occultists, these illuminists, Masons, Theosophists, whatever you want to call them, are trying to create prophecy and bring it to pass and make others, even Christians, believe it. I don't buy that. Not one true believer buys that because, like I said, there's the real and the false. I totally agree. That's what they're trying to do. But in a different sense, they're mimicking the true. Okay, you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater just because others are trying to deceive and trying to mimic something to deceive. That's false. Okay, and the point I want to make that I forgot was also with the book by Constance Cumby, Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow. Is a book called The Armageddon Script. I don't know if you ever heard of it. The Armageddon Script by Peter Lemessier, something like that, if I pronounced it right. Peter Lemessier, The Armageddon Script. Now, I was thinking of doing a video on that because there's a ministry called Cutting Edge Ministries online. It's been online a long time, and they have extensive archive of articles they do. They specifically relate to Bible prophecy and the occult and deal with that kind of thing. And there's a couple of articles about theosophy and theosophists and going into that with this Armageddon script and what's scripted out. But again, it's all a ruse. It's all a fake. That's what who, Satan, all he's doing is mimicking Jesus, mimicking God, mimicking the true gospel, mimicking true prophecy by trying to bring things to pass that look like it but are a deception. Okay, so finally, to make a long story short, this one article goes into the fact that these two men, they're Christians. They became Christians, but I believe they were theosophists, occultists, and in the interim they became Christians, but they were invited to a theosophy meeting, a speech by one of the high-level theosophists. I forget. you know, it's in that article. And anyhow, they laid out all of this, what's going to happen exactly, and this whole thing of Maitreya, and the world figure, the world teacher, and the masters of wisdom, all this thing that may be foreign to you and probably doesn't um, register as far as what's usually taught online or biblically as far as prophecy goes. But anyway, what happened was at this one point, this one, the main person who this is about, who's quoted, you know, asked the speaker questions, and the speaker was saying that there are going to be those who will be accepting of Maitreya, and those who will not be accepting of him. And so he stood up and said, "Well, what will happen to those who aren't ready, you know, to accept Maitreya?" And the theosophist, this high-level speaker, he said, "I don't know exactly, but I believe they will be sent to another dimension," something like along those lines. So there's the rapture right there. They're expecting believers to be taken out of here, and that's what even they believe. And you know, I'm not going to take the time to get into all this. There's so much more that could be talked about. Like Benjamin Krim, he was a long time advocate of this Maitreya, his appearance through decades, through many decades ago, since I was you know, my late teens. You know, like almost 50 years ago. So Share International is the group, and he died, but he was like the John the Baptist herald of this Maitreya. Anyhow, back in like very early 80s, a pastor of a church came to me and he showed me this article from the New York Times. It was a full-page ad from the New York Times that said, "The Christ is now here, and how will we recognize him?" You know, and it goes on, look for, you know, someone uh, humane or whatever for the purposes of humanity and so on. Look for this person, that, and then it had quotes by this Maitreya and saying that his appearance was imminent. And this article appeared in 3 full-page ads in the New York Times, the LA Times, and the London Times. That must have cost an arm and a leg. But in that book, Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow, she shows that, I think, or reads that. I don't know if I could still find that online. There's so many things that have been scrubbed, taken off. I don't know. And Benjamin Krim used to get what they call transmissions from Maitreya through overshadowing, where they give messages right through their mouths. And there's even been shown supernatural things that happen to them while they're speaking and otherwise, and all kinds of things where Maitreya has appeared to many people and did this sign and that and healed them or whatever. Now, I'm going to end this quickly, but you know, you might say, well, I don't believe it's going to be any Maitreya. It's going to be Prince William, or it's going to be Obama, or it's going to be that. You know, I'm not going to get into all that right here, but I mean, you know, whatever's going on with William, Prince William right now, I'm in no way disputing, you know, the conclusions of what's happening with him and his past and his occult um, upbringing and background and influences and seeming destiny that's seeming to take place right at this moment. I'm not discounting that, okay? We know that Princess Kate just had a serious so-called, I can't say so-called, but it was reported an operation, a major life-threatening operation, and it's unclear where she is exactly, recuperating or not, or what the story is. And then also with Philip, who has cancer apparently right now and might, you know, be in a serious state. So there's a lot of weird things happening that sort of point to all this kind of thing going on. And like I said, with the channel Israel Diego Rivera, the genius too, the real genius. Well, I think he changed his name a bit, but I think that's the what it is now. You know, goes into all this, and I sort of hinted at that in the last video. I don't know if I'll be doing that it kind of seems kind of fruitless right at the second. You could go and listen to his videos right now yourself. And plus, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, especially this week, but right up through the month and beyond. So, like I said, I've been through this a long time. I've been around the corner with all this stuff for such a long time. I mean, probably have moss growing on my top of my head. So, I mean, I'm making this video on a Saturday right before the Super Bowl for no reason, but so I'll see what happens. I mean, and you'll hear this, the fact that I did this video again. It's February 10th, Saturday. You know, the day before the Super Bowl. So I don't know about you, but these deadlines, when I hear dates and things, they give me a lot of anxiety. They really do. Usually, many times they don't, but I think sometimes some of the issues I have inwardly and also physically precipitate that a lot. Because otherwise, I just take it as it comes, you know. Um, Tomorrow's a day, another day, and just leave it at that. Because, you know, Jesus said that he gives us peace. He said, I give you peace. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. And the world is chaotic and in a mess. Tomorrow's a big day of chaos and hooting and revelry, all kinds of stuff. And I just want to hide away because I could feel it. I could feel it in the air, and I can't stand it. It's not peaceful. It's, well, there's a lot of satanic and occult things and rituals going on. Tomorrow is like the first day of the Black Sabbath or something like that. Really crazy. And today was the first day of the day of the year of the dragon with China. The dragon is you know who. And then what's going on with the performances and the performers themselves at the Super Bowl and all that, all the telegraphing, all the occult symbolism and markings and flaunting. They flaunt themselves with all this stuff, and it really is. It's like a national holiday here in the U.S. So my eyes are squinting because I don't have my glasses on. Don't like the way they look, so I'd rather just squint. So I guess that's about it. This ran long, pretty long, this video. So tomorrow's the big day in paradise. Hopefully for believers, the real paradise, but the Super Bowl will be in Paradise, Nevada. I'm trying to think of if there anything at last second I wanted to say. So yeah, well, as you probably know by now, Helio font, the maker of iPad Goat 2, had removed all his content from his website and the videos from YouTube, and now, since a few days ago, I guess last week, it's back up. So there's a lot of oddity about that, maybe signaling going on, almost undoubtedly, you know, that happened that way. And again, what's going on with the earthquakes and so on in Hawaii, like I said, it parallels very much all the charts and everything, exactly what happened at La Palma. And I don't know if there's going to be an eruption or forced, quote unquote, eruption from that soon or whenever, but it looks exactly the same. I mean, the charts went way up and then way down and nothing, and then the eruption out of nowhere like a week or so later. But I mean, I believe there's technology involved in all of this, so, and I believe there will be in the future whenever that happens with the break off and the resulting tsunami. I wanted to say it that way so that I don't get all this correction afterwards shown on my video by the thought police coming along, you know, trying to tell me what to believe or not. All right, that about sums it up, and I'll be signing off right now at 10:44 p.m. Another hour to go till Sunday the 11th. So that's it, and I'll try to post this like Monday or so. Like I said, I don't have internet here anymore, so I have to go riding to get it. What a pain in the neck everything is. So I'll be talking to you maybe another time, or at least put up this video. All right. I'll talk to you. Bye. Thanks for listening.